Hi guys, welcome back to Gracie's Faith Journey. Today we are going to be going through every month of this year and talking about things that God has done in my life this whole year. Because today's the last video of 2025. Don't mind my headband. I know it's like a skincare headband, but my regular headband that I wear after a shower is currently in my mom's car. And my mom is not here. So I can't wait till she gets home. It's my last video of 2025 because tonight is New Year's. So today we are going to go through January from December and find something that God has done in my life and just talk. Because why not? So before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. And let's get started. Okay, starting with January, we had my first Christian concert. I went with my cousin Elliot, her mom, her dad, and then their two family friends and their child. So 7 people, including me. It was really fun. I had tons of fun. It definitely changed the way. Sorry, it's only 2 o'clock and I've been up for 3 hours. Anyways, it changed a lot on my perspective. Little did I know that within maybe 6 months, I'd be getting baptized. But so I think that's kind of where my Christian journey started. But in reality, I think it started when I got my first Bible, which was last Christmas. So it's been almost a year since I got my first Bible, and then I got a new Bible for Christmas for my birthday this year. So I'm getting a new Bible every year, which is actually pretty cool. But the Christian concert we had, who was there? Oh my gosh. In Wilson. Maybe, I don't remember. I have no clue. But I had so much fun there. It's definitely life-changing and just like, I don't know, it was pretty cool. It was actually like first come, first serve. I don't remember much. It was in January, but I do know that it was definitely life-changing for me. I left there and I was like, what just happened? What just happened? I think I only have maybe 1 or 2 videos and photos from that because I was trying my best to stay off my phone because I knew, like, I had that feeling it was gonna be life-changing, so I tried to stay off my phone as much as I could. So there's maybe 2 or 3 photos in there, but instead of just showing photos, I think I'm gonna talk through it all instead of showing. But yeah, in January I went to see my first Christian concert and it was definitely life-changing. Now let's move on to February. Okay, moving on to February. Nothing really happened in February. I did spend a lot of time with family and friends, and I had 1 concert in February. My mom's uncle passed away in February. Well, he passed away in January, but we didn't have his funeral till February. And I guess, like, we knew it was happening. We knew something was wrong with him, but we didn't know when he was gonna pass away, so when he did, it was like, whoa. Like, I was with my cousins the day I found out. Just being with my cousins in the moment when I found out definitely had me feel better, even though, like, me and him weren't, like, super close. I do that with every family member, no matter who they are. I keep yawning, I promise I'm not crying. But yeah, that was definitely having my cousins there with me and being able to be like, alright, let's get your mind off it and do something else. That was definitely helpful. That's pretty much it that happened in February. In February, I did go to a Kelsea Ballerini concert, but again, that wasn't like, why do I keep yawning? That wasn't like Christian related, and I get it. Like, I know I said I would do it every month, but there was really nothing that happened in February. Christian related. Well, not Christian. Yeah, Christian related, so I don't have much to say, so let's just move on to March. Okay, so I have a couple things that happened in March that I could say were Christian related or like life-changing related for me. So I don't know how many of you know this, but I have a disability called cerebral palsy. So in March, we went and watched this movie called Out of My Mind. Out of My Mind. If you haven't watched it, you definitely should go watch it. It just changed the way I view, like, my disability because I'm getting lucky. There are different stages of cerebral palsy. I have the stage where I can walk, talk, and do whatever I please. It's just my legs. Out of My Mind is about a little girl that has cerebral palsy that can't walk or talk. So it was definitely eye-opening, but it also made me feel like I need to send this to some people and be like, look, this is what's happening, you need to watch it. And I did, and every time I texted somebody and said, you should go watch this, they were like, oh, I already watched that like a month ago. Oh, okay. In February was, not February, oh my gosh. March was a spring fling. That is when I got included in some drama in the spring fling. With some friends, basically saying that I was talking crap about her and her boyfriend the whole time, which I wasn't just talking about her, I was talking about everybody. Because it was just, I mean, I get it, like, spring fling is for couples and whatever, but, like, it was crowded, and I don't like being in crowded places. I mean, I do, but I don't, depending on who I'm with. And it was just with a bunch of people that I'm not comfortable around, and when I told my friend that, like, it was not a very comfortable place for me to be at, she told me we could have just stayed home. Me and her are no longer friends now, we don't talk, none of us do. And I said I wanted to do something fun before my surgery, because at this point my surgery was already scheduled. And they just kept telling me I was lying and making an excuse and all that, but I really wasn't. I wasn't doing anything. And I can admit I probably did some things wrong then, but I don't remember any of it because it all happened at my cousin's house. It's funny how everything that I'm doing and talking about happens with my cousin. My cousins are the Christian ones, so it's kind of funny how this is all happening. This has all happened with my cousin, so I don't really remember much. I'm not crying, I'm yawning, I promise. I don't really remember much because I was with my cousins, and when I'm with my cousins, it's like my memory is wiped. Like, I don't pay attention to anything, nothing. But I guess, looking back on it now, God made that happen so I could get closer to God. That's all I can say. My surgery got scheduled in March, which is where we cut my legs open, where my cerebral palsy is, and tried to fix it, but doing better than it was. And when I walked, funny enough, my cousin was included in this too. Before I got pushed down in the surgery room, she told me God's got this. He knows what he's doing. He's gonna take control. He's gonna he has control of what the surgeons are gonna do. And then being pushed down into the surgery room, I did a little prayer. So that was kind of like, you can kind of see things shifting there. But yeah, that was March. So let's move on to April. Okay, so April was my surgery. I already basically included that in March. April was my surgery, and I started walking with my walker a week after my surgery. So that was definitely, like, they weren't expecting me to walk within a week. They were expecting maybe a week and a half. I started walking in a week, which is crazy to even think about. I wasn't walking, like, without my walker. I was walking with my walker. But yeah, that was definitely like, well, you weren't supposed to start walking until like a week and a half. But, well, technically, wait, wrong way. I was supposed to walk, but I had my walker. Sorry. I started walking like 2 days after my surgery. The first 2 days after my surgery, my mom would let me move. She was like, you need to rest, because that's all I wanted to do. But after 2 days, I started walking with my walker. And that was kind of like, whoa, we're moving a lot faster than we are expecting. So, yeah. Alright, let's move on to May. right? I don't know. Yeah, May. We're just gonna say it was May. May was when we got my cast off. Also, when summer started. Fun fact, I actually got my cast off the last day of school, so I started my summer. They took the hard cast off on the last day of school, but they figured out I wasn't strong enough to walk without like a boot or anything, so they had me wearing a boot for like 2 weeks, but I was able to take them off and swim and all that. So yeah, that was pretty cool, but it was a struggle. It was easy getting in the pool, it was a struggle getting out of the pool. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Nothing really happened in May, except for me getting my cast off and summer starting. But it was I was a little upset, like, leaving the hospital when I got my cast off, because I had boots on, and they told me that I would be able to walk once I got the cast off. Well, clearly I wasn't, because they had to give me boots. So I was a little frustrated because they told me I could walk and I can't. So I was a little upset. Funny enough, my cousin went down with me when we got them taken off, and she told me that something that really changed the way I seen things. She said, "This is where you wanted to be. You got where you want to be. So just be happy you're here and not somewhere else." And I was like, "You're right." So, of course, I kind of just been like, okay, yeah, she's right. This is where I want to be. I need to have these boots on so I don't go back to where I was, and went from there. Let's move on to June. Okay, so June was when I kept my boots off, and I started walking in just shoes, without the walker, without the boot, without any help. I was walking with just shoes. It was definitely wobbly. I felt like I was walking like a penguin, if that says anything. But June was June. Like I said, I started walking without my boot or cast, without any help. It's just me walking myself. Which was definitely pretty cool, because like I could tell when I was walking flat-footed, which was really cool. So yeah, let's move on to July. July was when my cousin Elliot got baptized. Definitely eye-opening, just hearing all them singing and clapping. It was really loud in there. It was definitely eye-opening and life-changing. It hit me harder than I expected it to. Sorry, I'm like trying to think of what I said the first shot that I took this. I've already tried this twice, but my brother came in the first time. It was definitely eye-opening. It definitely hit harder than I expected. I keep repeating myself. What the heck? It's definitely eye-opening. I need to stop repeating myself. But yeah, watching her get baptized made me want to get baptized. And just kind of being there in that moment was like, what just happened? I could definitely feel God on my back, just being like, alright, let's do it. In that moment, I was like, I want to get baptized. At the same time, I haven't said the big yes yet, so I wanted to, but I didn't want to. Like, I was on the edge of it. So let's move to August. August was when I said the big yes, which is also when I started this YouTube channel. So that was definitely, saying the big yes was like, whoa, life-changing. The day I said the big yes, I've explained this before in like all my videos, but it was just me, my cousin, and then her mom were in the row beside us. And like I kept looking at my cousins, I kept looking at her mom, and they were like, do you want me to go up there with you? Like, because it was the time when the pastor was like, somebody want to say the big yes. And I was hesitant, like I was walking back and forth. So then he's just like rambling off, and this girl comes up behind me, and she like, I've never met her in my life, and she's like, do you want me to walk up there with you? And I was like, yeah, at this point already crying. So I walked up there, said to the guests, they all clapped for me, I signed the wall. Best day of my life. And then 3 days later, I started this YouTube channel. I did have a YouTube channel before this. I just updated it and made it a faith-based YouTube channel. My YouTube channel before this was just nothing but randomness. Like, I'd post CapCuts, lip syncs, all this. So most of my subscribers that are currently for this channel are from the last channel, and they're mostly family members. But yeah, starting this channel was definitely like, whoa, I think this is what God wants me to do, because when I'm in front of a camera, I sit there and I chat, I don't stop. So it's been definitely cool to do that. But yeah, it's basically what happened in August. Sorry. I said the big yes, and I started this YouTube channel. Oh, and next year, on the exact day that I started this YouTube channel, I am posting a big video of just, I think, I haven't decided yet, of everything this YouTube channel has been through in a year. So, super excited for that. Let's move to September. September was when I signed the wall in church, because when I said the big yes, they didn't ask me to sign the wall. They forgot to. So in September, they were like, have you signed the wall yet? And I said no, and I signed the wall. Just really cool, just seeing like, every time I go in there, if I bring, like, my sister or my brother, I'll go in there and I'll be like, look, that's where I signed. Like, my mom went in there Wednesday for the Christmas Eve, or not this Wednesday, last Wednesday for Christmas Eve service. And, she, like, it was so cool to be like, look, Mom, I'm on the wall, because my mom isn't Christian. But then also, when I looked up there with my mom, my cousin Braxton, if he watches these, I don't know if he does, he signed his name next to mine. He's getting baptized in February, right? Yes. So that's super exciting. But apparently he purposely signed his name next to mine, which is really cool. Me and Braxton are like best friends, but not really best friends. We like hanging out with each other, I think. I don't know. I might feel that way. I don't know how he feels. But anyways, so signing the wall is cool, because then I get to tell people, hey, look, I signed the wall at church, and like all this fun stuff. And then seeing all the other people that have signed their wall, it's just cool. It's awesome. I love it. It just shows how much God is, how many people God are changing and saving. It's awesome. I love it. Let's move on to October. October was the month I got baptized. If you guys can recall that video, it was me, get ready for me, because it's that day, like all that stuff. I was definitely excited, and I was definitely nerve-wracking. And if you go back and watch the video of me posting it, I was literally like this. I was scared for my life. My eyeballs were so big. It was definitely nerve-wracking, but I did it. If you watch the prolong video, I've never actually posted the prolong video. Pastor Jess was talking to me. It was her and Pastor Greg. She was talking to me, and she said some things. She was like, no matter who doesn't agree with what you're doing, you are making the right choice, and you are following God's path, and you are changing things. And that instantly after she said that, then I was fine. And then she dunked me, and I stood there. She was like, alright, you can give me a hug now. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but it was cool. I enjoyed it. We had my mom there, my brother there, my sister there, my dad there, my aunt there, my grandma was there, my cousins were there, obviously, because they were at church. We had, like, it was full, jam-packed in there. Like, we had, like, maybe 2 rows full for mine. And then, like, I was getting hugs from so many people when I came out of the water. I got a hug from Pastor Jess. Gave Pastor Greg a hug and a high five. Another girl that was getting baptized gave me a hug. Another girl that I've known since the beginning of my church journey, which was like a year ago. She was in Braxton's youth group, and I went up there with Braxton. She was the only girl. She was like, these boys are like this all the time, because they were talking about getting slapped with a taco. Surprisingly. So she gave me a hug. The girl that helped me say the big yes gave me a hug. My cousin gave me a hug. My sister, everybody gave me hugs. So it was cool to be there in that moment and be like, whoa, that just happened. I just did that. Yay for me. Let's go to November, I think. Yeah, I think so. November. We're almost done. November, I was a very sad person. For some reason, I guess it was just winter depression was starting to hit me. I was really sad. But so at that moment, God knew I was sad, and he brought me closer to my cousins, Colton and Ava. You know who you are. And then I met some girls from school. We started hanging out more. So God gave me people when I needed people, and they helped me through it, even though it was like a 3-week thing, but they definitely made it a lot easier. So yeah, that was November. Let's go to December. Like I said, November and December, we haven't really had much happen, so these are gonna be shorter ones. Okay, so December was my birthday month, and Christmas, obviously. This Christmas was the first Christmas that I really knew what Christmas really was. It wasn't just presents, it wasn't just food, it was Jesus' birthday. Sorry, y'all, my cat's asleep on my bed and he's snoring. Look. Anyways, this Christmas was the first Christmas that I really knew what Christmas was actually about, and not the fake present, food, Santa stuff. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And going to see the Christmas Eve service. Yes. No. It's Embry. No, wait, I'll tell you in a second. Sorry, my sister interrupted me. So it was the first eye-opening Christmas that I had. Then going to the Christmas Eve service was pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically what happened in December. Okay, and that was my 2025 recap of everything that God has done for me in 2025. I can't wait to see what God does for me in 2026. And it is officially the last video of 2025. I'm just waiting for 2026. Me, 2025 was definitely rough. Emotional roller coaster. I'm so glad I started this journey with you guys in 2025. It means everything to me that I actually did for something for once. So I will see you guys in 2026. And before I end, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I will see you next year. Oh, and wait, remember, with God, all things are possible. Matthew 19:26. Love you all. Bye. Let me do that again. Love you all. Bye.